about relationship between capitalism or sick form of capitalism and militarism, which I think they are. Militarism is a symptom of a capitalism that's is not really functioning anymore. And then why I named this video Fiat currency, militarism, and what was the other one? Perpetual war. Because when the fiat currency is being abused, the bankers and the government, which have become totally combined together, functioning together, they need an excuse to issue more credit and use that credit to go buy more equipment, or hire more people, or give it as handout to assassins. It's a form of blood flow in the economy, but it's not real. It's not normal, because the normal functioning economy, when it issues credit, the credit is issued for the needs that are humane. Like for example, say I went to Starbucks and fell for this pretty blonde, and I wanted to marry her, and then I would like to have a house. Then I would try to get the bank or some financial institution to issue me credit so I can go buy a house, so we can have a marriage or kids. So all these needs that are normal, those are human needs, those at some point will come in and demand a kind of credit or a lump sum of money to be used to do something else that I would want to do. So the real economy would be, or a functioning economy, or a functioning capitalism or credit system would be like that. It would be built on the needs of the individuals or families, or like you would ask the bank to issue credit so you could go to school, get a bachelor's of art. But what if that BA didn't mean anything anymore, because all the stuff you need to know is on the YouTube videos, and you won't get a better job getting that BA. So the reasons for that issuance of credit has disappeared. But the politicians and the banks and they are not like that. Their needs are not normal, and they'll go and issue credit and do all this other stuff. Well, another analogy was something I read a while ago, that there were some scientists they were investigating AIDS virus. They didn't know what it is in the beginning, and hadn't made the link between AIDS and the fact that it attacks the white blood cells. And so they were discovering that some patients that had AIDS was full-blown in them, that they had these infections which are called Kaposi sarcoma, but this infection was very rare, because in the normal human body the white cells easily overwhelm this organism and wipe it out. But when the number of T cells or white cells drops, then the stupid organism that never had a chance before, well, now it becomes like a full-blown infection. Well, I think that what's happening in the United States are symptoms of capitalism that either has died or is not functioning at all anymore. I just like to go over some of the symptoms that they are very strange. Just like that the Kaposi sarcoma infection, they kind of look irrelevant, but you have to look at the whole chain of events to see, hey, this is a stupid organism. The fact that it's here, it's infecting a healthy body, means that there is a whole bunch of other things that are happening that I'm not conscious of. Okay, so I think that when capitalism dies or has died, okay, there are symptoms. One of them is that the parts of the government or parts of the financial system that are able to issue credit, they will issue credit and then they will give it to themselves or people who are close by or friends, and they will everything will become like the the people who are around this spigot of cash. They're doing wonderful. Everybody else is out there. They're struggling like hell. That's a symptom of capitalism that's not functioning at all. It's another symptom that I see is like the valuation in the stock market that is mostly based on 5 companies that they call them FANG, like Facebook or Google or all these industries that are mostly just online companies that you interact, and most of them are based on servers. It means that there is like servers all around the United States or in several data centers, and they're connected to the outside world, to the internet and all kinds of computers. So the way this whole company is evaluated is based on network effect, on valuation based on what the servers are doing, the interaction between the servers and millions of computers. But when you come down to the bottom of the company, you see that all there is there is software and these computer servers. There is nothing else. Okay, so if you wanted to make another company like that, Facebook, then all you would have to do is come up with these servers and software that's similar to that. And that's it. You'll have another Facebook. But the valuation is false, but it's also just like that the organism, stupid organism, is there. It's just pointing to a symptom of a disease that's very advanced already. Then I think the widespread adoption of homosexuality is also a symptom of a sick economy or sick society, because for example, when a guy and a girl they fall for each other, okay, it's not a cheap process. There's all this thing going on with dating and marriage, and then having kids is very expensive, and also buying a place or renting a place. It all requires credit, it all requires effort and commitment and work, but when a society is economically sick, and most adults, they are either single or they have adopted this lifestyle which is sick, but it's more congenial to this sick economic system. That's it's just the whole thing has become some form of cheap entertainment, and I think this is a symptom that people change their lifestyle to accommodate something that's not normal. And then also when a society economically is functioning right, all the joys and happinesses and things that make people look forward to tomorrow are based on relationships that are between people, that are real individual, real entity, okay? But when society has died economically and also has died in terms of the economy reflecting what actually goes on, the process that goes on in the human body, then all the relationships become like virtual. It's like, I'm talking to this chick over here, she might be in New York, and there's this another chick is talking to me, but I'm in Los Angeles, and she's in Alaska, something like that. All the relationships become fake and virtual. That's a symptom. Just like when the T cells die, these organisms or entities that had never had a chance will now become dominant. Also, I think perpetual war and people who instigate or justify them, try to justify them morally, is a symptom of when the society has lost its legitimate reasons for issuing credit, because it's not really doing anything. It's just simply issuing credit to go on. But I think you get the point. While I was listening to Liberty Report, they were talking about Bolton, and I think that the United States is going to betray its peace process with North Korea, and we will have some kind of nuclear exchange in 2018. Well, I hope I'm wrong, but when a system is so used to doing this, I'm looking for war as an excuse or a way out of its economic dilemma, or in this case economic death, then figuring out what the next step is going to be is not really that hard. Well, thank you for being in my YouTube channel, and please subscribe.